Hi, I'm Carcina.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Welcome back. This is Raising Kanan, the final season. Season 5? Yep, episode 1 breakdown. Yes, sir. Now, this is about the heartbreak that we saw in episode 1. We all knew it was coming. We all was like, yep, it's going to happen. We kind of expected Lou to go after the trailer came out, and they barely showed Lou at all in the trailer. So you could tell Lou was kind of out of it. And, you get the funeral. Lou, he passes away in such a tragic moment, and Kanan now is as heartless as he's ever been. And here, there's no more fun. There's no more laughter. It's only hustling. It's only the business. And it's only the grit and the grind. He's just become cold and shut off. And now you're starting to go into the deeper psychological matter of when it happens when you start talking about Kanan Stark and how he became what he is. Now, Snap and Pop, they're running the game right now. And they basically is telling their nephew, which you learn a lot about Breeze. He's ruthless. But as you can tell, he likes to do things his own way and kind of go off course. Well, you see the little girl that Marvin was saving and was trying to give some type of salvation to his soul. She's come to be into this big time. As you can see, that Marvin is still tore up over Lou, and this is going to play a lot into his decisions that he's going to make all the way through. And now, because of all of this, Kanan is now in the mix of, we know he didn't kill Rock, but now it's in a different way. He's killed Rock by killing Lou. He's already done killed Rock. He done took the biggest piece from her ever, even though it was by accident. Now, Jukebox feel bad because she called Lou to go over there. Now, a lot of things on Raising Kanan is foreshadowed, and it's pretty easy to see. And when you get to a point where things are very easy to see, those problems are elevated or escalated to a higher scale. You start to see more things come clearer where other things would fade away. And you would start to see that there's something different about this than any other time in the universe. Meaning that Kanan Stark is not what you think. And some people believe you're not a real killer till you can kill somebody you love. So for Kanan, this is like a whole new beginning for him. This is a whole new range. He's always often been that person they wrote off. Now he's not the person you write off. Now he's somebody you're going to have to pay very close attention to. Kanan Stark is for real. This is one of the few stories of evolution and change that other people have yet to really go down those roads. As Marvin has been the glue guy for the show. He's a lot of people's favorite character, and he's the emotional arc of the show. You know, Marvin is relatable to a lot of people in the hood that we know. He's gangster, but he got a heart. You know, so this is why Jukebox, you know, ended up forgiving her father after he, you know, learned about her situation and everything. And having to accept his daughter for what she is. Marvin is conflicted and torn as he's seen his baby brother deceased. That was Mike, a piece of Marvin dying as well. Seeing Rock so calm in these situations bring a lot of clarity to the situation when it comes to Marvin. It was like, I just told you our baby brothers died, and you don't seem the least bit sad, not knowing that she had already cried her tears over the situation. Now, the bigger problem in the scenario makes things tougher is that this is only going to bring out the forefront because the RSKs, that's down the road. Where you're going to see probably Roller when he first was coming up, or you might not see Roller. Well, you have a lot of different like entities trying to come in and compete and trying to say, well, this is what you guys need to do, and this is what you should do in these situations. Now, when you start saying, okay, we got to get back to moving this work, and this is a lot of product, Rock has a big problem. That's why she had to go meet with the Connect because she wanted to be the distribution. She wanted to be the head. So she wanted to be that person that's in charge of distribution. So Rod right now is still in position, still has power because she has all the work. She still has to connect, but she hasn't moved anything yet. So if this person comes in, or if Kanan and all these guys interrupt her business, this gonna send the whole thing into a spiral. So she meets with the Connect who says, hey, you promised me, you know, you could move all this stuff. And now with Stefano and his situation and how sour that deal looks like it's gonna become for her and Stefano, she's gonna be forced to go to another Connect, which we've already seen that that's gonna happen in here. She's gonna pretty much go to the Manhattan Italians, but it might be some strings attached as this thing keeps moving forward. Jukebox is known for seeing things and not expressing what she's actually seeing. She's seeing the things that don't fit and don't sit right. Kanan's behavior and him finding out that Lou was dead and him not really truly caring that Lou was dead was very alarming to her. His demeanor from hearing that Lou, somebody who had cared a lot and did a lot for him, Lulu is dead. And it was by his gun that did it. Now they're doomed. They will never be the same again. The family is split. The five of them are all done with each other. There's no way out of this. Another key moment here is the fact that you have Unique and his son. The way his son is disgusted with all this stuff that went down. And his dad's telling him, hey, I'm going to come see you soon. He just kind of looks over. He comes and looks over at his son and says, now, as everyone started to look into this new dynamic of what's going to, be the forefront of everything in human existence, most people in the game don't understand they don't get the message. Yeah, they don't really get it. It was like a foreshadowing, man. He saw his son, didn't look up at him like a hero anymore for like the first time, and it like shocked him, and it was like almost like he's never gonna see his son again, and it hurt him that he couldn't be there with him. But this is the part of the game, like to keep them safe while he going through this, to know that they gonna be cool, and while he's doing this and handling his business in the streets, a mother's got to protect their sons. The same way Rock is protecting Kanan, even though her and Kanan don't talk. This is the only thing I don't see how this is going to work out. As if, he's putting the pressure to someone he really don't have a leverage on. He has no real leverage on Jukebox, but this cop is trying to push to get an answer for a murder case that he would believe she knows the answer to, which is pretty crazy. Like, how would this girl know about what happened to a cop who got murdered in a drug deal? I have no idea, but since they believe she's part of, since she's part of the Thomas family, she can get them some info, and they can't really do anything for her. So he's, leaning on her pretty hard, but with no leverage of anything on her. So, I mean, what could he do? So now, to see that dynamic play out, that's different from the murder that happened with the little girl's foster parents, where it seems like Marvin's going to be in some real trouble because, it seems like they can get this girl to flip as her story is starting to change up. And someone said they saw a black man leave, not a white man with tattoos, as you described. So this might lead to Marvin getting in some very serious trouble down the road. Well, the new dynamics is like the old dynamics, right? This whole thing here with him and her, I don't know where this is gonna go, but it is definitely not in a good space. It's just irritable at this point. Yeah. So the boss pretty much told Rod, like, look, this is it for you. You know, like this is as far as we go. Oh, absolutely. This is as far as we're going. And you told me you can move this, so I'm trusting you to it. You know, your word is like the biggest thing in your life is your word. You know, somebody can't live up to their promises, you know, that's life and death. And she knows that. So she got to get that work move quick. Now, Unique messed up a lot of her business, you know, burning up the spots, everything. When he was going to war with Rock, which kind of went on the hiatus now, how he done lost all this action and they didn't really took a pivot from back then to now. Marvin's reminiscent of Marvin's reminiscent of his brother was cool. But the best part of this whole thing was Breeze. Breeze is the guy that this season is really about him. Breeze is establishing himself before they even get to Origins by putting his range in place. He's letting everybody know what time it is. He's like, look, this is what's happening right now. More than anything in the world, it's the Breeze show. You know, so Breeze has been in here just really implementing himself, filling everybody out. As he would not back down. And, you know, you can pretty much tell he does not like Unique. Never thought too much about him. And neither guy would give in. Because I tell you, that was my favorite part. When Unique was coming in there, both of them, you know, Unique is still going to show signs of force. Like, I'm still that dude. Like, you got to do that. You can't come in there soft punk, like, okay, man, all right, I need to get on, you know. You've exposed yourself as being weak. It might be taken out in about 2-3 days because they really don't need you. And Unique is kind of in a position where, you know, he needs them. So Snap and Pops was happy to hear him saying, hey, I can read the room. Without the Italians having my back, you know, I got a bunch of people that need to be fed. And this is it. And this is why Breeze needs to use Unique until he can't use him no more. Till he's no more any use to him. So he want to get to know his guys the whole nine. He wanted Kanan to see that, you know, that ring fighting shit. He needed him to see that pit fighting and show him how ruthless he is and all that. He wanted Kanan to also respect him and the fear and to see how Kanan react to seeing all this stuff. And he's seeing that Kanan just cares about the business. He cared about getting that bread. But what he also saw from the conversation was that Kanan didn't even bring up his uncle being murdered. Which is going to make, in my opinion, that's going to make Unique go, okay. Now, in his mind, he's a hustler. He's going to know, hey, you did it. He going to throw it around like, maybe, you took out your brother. Like, your uncle, maybe you did it. I think he gonna be the first one to figure it out before Juke. Juke is gonna not want to tell herself that's what happened. Unique ain't gonna care. He gonna have that information and try to use it to his advantage. And I think that's what that scene is when he talk about, hey, you know what they say about family? Can't live with them. Can't live with them. So it put a target on his back. And he don't even know what it was all about, really. But if he think Kanan did that, that's even better for him because now it takes it off the board. And he could be alleviated knowing like, all right, cool. I know if it's coming at me, I know how to handle it. But Breeze, talking about he met his match. He was like, I'm unmatched. You don't know, you better ask somebody. But he came in with the disrespect first. Kadeem Mathis. Like, I know you, dude. So you came in and didn't call him Unique. You called him by his government name. Like you somebody know him. Like he said. Only my mother and the police called me that. And I know you ain't my mother. So right away, he comes in trying to feel him out. They both feeling each other out to see what each side is about. First time they meeting up. So they can know what they bring into the table, the attitude. Everybody, both guys are reading each other. My favorite scene in the whole episode was this scene here, the meeting of these two. Because this is two hustlers who don't know each other. They know of each other. He barely knows something about this guy Breeze, heard about it. But let's fill him out. But each one thinking we top dog. I'm in control. So Breeze is like, all right, yeah, okay. I do need your man, so I gotta keep this cool, for now. But I don't like this man. He likes Kanan because Kanan is a hustler. And Kanan is all about that bread. And he's on the up and coming. He know I need somebody like that. That's the part that people don't understand. It's hard to get workers like that. That's like getting a worker that don't take sick days. Now, the way they kept bringing up like they never gonna see lose, what it's like for him to be a father and everything. The way they went on the girls, it's like one or maybe two of the girls might be pregnant by Lou. Because Lou slept with both of them. That Latino chick, she might be pregnant with Lou's baby. Or the chick from the record label. She could have, both of them could be pregnant with Lou's kids. Yeah, that opened up a whole new door. Now I can tell you what I believe is gonna come next, but I'm just like, let's keep it on this episode for right now. What's coming next is something that'll build up later, and we'll see it play out. But as of right now, this is where we need to keep our minds at. On episode 1, as now I think all the tables are gonna turn. Russo, I think, you know, Stefano's gonna come at him full strength to have him removed. I don't think he makes it out of the next episode. I think Russo knows he's got to get ready for a war with Stefano, and that's where all his focus is gonna be. Like, we finna get ready to go to war. So without the backing of the 5 families, and Stefano was giving that meeting about this thing of ours from the hospital bed, about the morals, the code. And like he said, hey, we can't discuss while me and him was having a meeting privately. Like, we can't even have it. That's something we could discuss later. But this right here, this right here, this dude violated the code that we do. He broke that. So that's gonna mean a lot in the end. Yeah, well, there's always going to be a difference in opinions when it comes to this show. There's always going to be people that love it for its purity and people who want to guess where it should go or where it's not going. But does Unique die? Everyone thinks Unique gets killed. He might not die. Unique might relocate. But I'm ready to see the RSKs and how they went, how they got developed, how they got started. And Roller was in charge. Then Roller's brother. Then when he got smoked, the RSKs is getting ran off the blocks. The war was up. The Rock Street Killers. So now it's all making sense how all these things come full circle. All these people have no wherewithal. They got no heart in the game. They're just somehow stuck between a rock and a hard place. And everybody out here is making observations. about what it is that everybody needs to do, besides focusing on what isn't being done. And when you're not seeing things being done, it's moving at a snail's pace. Now, I don't want to go off into this. So this is all speculation, but who says Unique can't relocate somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? Go to another town. Go to Jersey. Go to Miami. And it might have some connection with, you know, OG Power. But I think they might climax it, because I don't believe Unique is going over into Origins. Or he might, but I don't see him I don't see the character of Unique in the situation. So, like for next season, for Power Origins, I don't see Unique. So I think he ends in this Raising Kanan era. So absolutely. So here it is, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. And don't forget to watch episode 2, which should be happening in 5 days? So in 5 more days, we'll be back.